Hey y'all, welcome back, or welcome for the first time. So, my name is Jenny, and my videos are just about anything that pops into my head. I just talk about it. So come ride with me, and we will talk about my subject of the day, which is side hustles. So, I did a video, I've done a couple videos recently about the government laying off people and United Healthcare laying off people, and really I'm hearing murmurings, I'll just say that, or people are talking about other big companies laying off people. Not really sure why this is happening. I'm not going to say. You can say if you want to in the comments, just please remember to be nice, okay? You know, when it's you that's getting laid off, it's kind of irrelevant why it happened, because you got something more pressing at hand, and that is, how am I going to pay my bills, right? So the thing that I wanted to talk about today is side hustles. And if you've been following me, you know that I have a cleaning business. That's my main source of income. But I also have an eBay and Poshmark. I sell on those. And I have an antique booth, which is where I'm going today because it needs to be revamped. Get ready for spring. So those are my side hustles. You don't have to do what I do. But I have always believed a couple things. First of all, every woman needs to have some money of their own. And this includes traditional wives. You know, that's another thing. Like, people are, not everybody, but there's some people who are kind of bashing the trad wives, they call them. That's bad. You shouldn't do that. We don't make fun of people. We don't criticize people for the way that they live if they're not hurting anybody. You know, that's not right. And the people who choose to live that way, they have their reasons, okay? We should respect that. But that doesn't mean that they can't do things to have a little bit of money anyway, if it may not be enough to live on. But there are things that even traditional wives can do to have a little extra in their pocket. And I'll give you an example. My daughter, she's a trad wife, okay? She stays at home. She homeschools her kids. That is her job. That's what she's always wanted to do, and that's what she's doing. And my son-in-law makes it possible for her to do that, and I'm grateful for that, because that's the life that they have chosen to live, and they are very family centric, which is very important, okay? But she's also got a Midas touch, let me tell you. She does different things at different times. Sometimes she sells sourdough bread that she makes herself. She has excess things, excess vegetables from her garden, which she's Mother Nature, let me tell you. She sells those. If she has excess eggs, she sells those. They have chickens. She sells signs. They had some barnwood in a part of their house that they remodeled, and she kept the barnwood, and she's making signs, and it's probably not barnwood, but that's what I'm calling it. So, they couldn't live on the income that she's bringing in, but she does do little things to have something extra that, they can use towards whatever they decide. And that's the whole point of it. Like, even before I started my cleaning business, when I was working at United Healthcare, I did hair on the side. There's always something that you can do to earn a little extra, and it's important to have that to fall back on. That could be gas money, or it could be date night money, or it could be money that you put aside to buy a new car, or put a down payment on a house, or pay for your kids' education. There's lots of different things that you could do, or it might just be mad money that you can go out and splurge once a month on something that you want, But it's good to have that little side hustle, because if something happens, you always got something to fall back on. And that's what happened to me during COVID. When COVID first hit, everybody panicked and they didn't want to go out of their house. Excuse me, my allergies are acting up today. But anyway, they didn't want to go out of their house, and they were stuck at home surfing the internet, and so they were spending money. So I did pretty well. I actually, because I wasn't cleaning, I had to figure something out, because you still had the bills, right? So I just had started listing like very aggressively, and managed to make enough to balance out what business I did have, in the cleaning business with the eBay business. And that's when I learned that this could actually be a viable business. Now it's not what I'm doing full time right now, but in the future it will be. The eBay business will be my main income, and I'll do something else. But for right now, it's a side hustle. Same thing with this booth. It's not, I don't make enough on it to pay my bills. It was kind of an experiment, to be truthful with you. And that's the beauty of a side hustle. It can be an experiment. Like, you may think you like something, but then you actually get into it and find out, oh, this isn't really for me, So I just think that you always need to have a fallback plan. And there's business advice. They always tell you to diversify, right? And usually when you hear that, they're talking about where you put your money. Like, you shouldn't put all your money into one account. You should put it in different kinds of accounts for different purposes. And I think it's the same thing with your time and your skills. You should diversify that too. So of course we need to talk about balance, because you don't want to be so obsessed with working all the time or creating money that it distracts you from the other things in your life, like your family or your friends or your, personal mental health, or whatever it is that could cause that little imbalance. But yeah, you do want to have a little bit of diversity, and that means like having a nest egg with your time, if you can understand what I'm trying to say here. If you like playing piano, maybe teach piano to somebody once a week or twice a week, or tutor somebody if that's your skill. Or you can go on to Fiverr. Fiverr has so many things on there that you can do, and you pick the job, so it's not something you have to do all the time. It might be just something you do when you feel the need that you need a little extra, or you got a little extra time, or you're bored, or whatever it is that motivates you. Excuse me. But yeah, and then talk to your friends and neighbors. You could babysit, you could walk dogs, you could fix cars, or there's so many things. And now with the internet, the market is so broad that if it's something that you can do online, you can reach so many people, so much more than you could back in the day when I was doing hair on the side, or actually, if you want to go back even further than that, when I was a regular hairdresser, I cleaned houses on the side. I had a couple people, literally 2 people, that I would clean houses for, one each week, and they alternated back and forth. And I would clean one week and clean the other the next week on my day off. And it was just a little extra money, that's all. So you always want to have just something on the side. That's why they call it a side hustle, right? Just something on the side, legal, I should say, because I know, it has to be legal. But just, if you should have some kind of a catastrophe, which could be anything, you've got something extra to help you out, okay? Because we never know. You might have a really great job with a really good company, and you've been there for a long time, but you don't know who's making the decisions and what the decisions are if you're further down on that little totem pole like I was, okay? Like most of us are. And you could come in one day and that's your last day. Side note, I can't remember the name of the company. It was a fairly large company that went defunct back in 2008, you know, when lots of businesses were closing. So it's a company that doesn't even exist anymore. And we were getting calls. I don't know why they were calling the insurance company, but people were calling. I guess they wanted to know what was going to happen with their insurance. I can't remember the exact details because I can't remember the name of the company either. But what happened to these poor people is they went to work and the doors were locked. And they couldn't even get in. I mean, if you had something personal in the building, it was gone. It was really bad. I don't know why a company would treat their employees like that, but that's what they did. They didn't even tell them. They found out by surprise. How horrible. So, I'm just saying, it doesn't have to be anything huge. I would say do something you like doing. That's what my suggestion would be. Turn a hobby into some kind of a business. That's what I would suggest. Just a little side hustle. Teach somebody, help somebody. Just my thoughts.